Okay, today I am in the greenhouse because it is cold and windy outside, and I decided to plant up a couple of containers. I love container planting. I love everything about it. You can move them around, put them where you want them. You can mix and match things however you want it, within reason. And we have a pool, and I want to decorate around it. I've already got a few planters up there from my transplanting video that I did. But this time what I'm doing is just fixing up a couple. These galvanized containers. It's just something that I really enjoy. All of them, any of the galvanized, it's all over my house. But we had a couple laying around from whatever, and no one had used them in a while, so I decided to take them and plant in them. First thing I did was turn them upside down, get a drill, and drill a bunch of drainage holes in the bottom. We want to make sure that it's not just going to hold on to water. And so that was the first step. And then I put my potting mix in it. And it's something that I mix up myself. It is a mixture of peat moss, compost, perlite, and vermiculite. And that's done me well for a long time, so I just continue using that. Now, because I'm putting these around my pool, I wanted to make sure that I have some citronella. Now, citronella is also called the mosquito plant. It's supposed to help ward off mosquitoes. I don't guess they like the smell of it. But I've also got some other things. Some sweet potato vine, and I've got some herbs, some mint, some oregano, some sweet marjoram, thyme, lemon balm. I'm just going to kind of mix and match and have a nice, pretty display once they are all nice and full. Now, one of the things you want to remember when doing a container is you want something with some height. Then you want something that's going to have a little middle ground, and then you want to have something that will trail over. That's a really good bet when you start designing a container. So that's the first thing I'm going to do, and I'm going to get my citronella. It's the biggest one that I have. I'm going to get it off in the center first. Get it kind of snug in there, and I purposefully already had I didn't put enough soil in the beginning because I typically end up having to pull some out. So I've got the citronella in place, kind of press it in there, pull off any brown leaves and stuff, and then I just start playing. I'm going to put this oregano in here to be sure. Love oregano. And it's one that'll get kind of bushy, a little small bushy. And so I'm going to give it a home over here. I try to tuck enough soil around them to be able to firm them into place. Okay, so I've got the oregano in place, and the dirt around it is up to where the dirt level was in the pot that it was in. Now, I want to take a moment and remind everyone that you don't want to overcrowd a new planting. These things are young, they're going to grow. And we don't want to do anything at all that's going to inhibit their growth. And if they don't have enough room for their feet, then it is going to inhibit their growth. Now, things like mint and in that family, they will overtake something. I can show you a bed out here that is completely overrun, but you don't want to do that in your container because they will choke each other out. So I'm just going to put a few in and see what happens. I love this sweet potato vine. I've got this light green, and I've also got the purple one, and they trail over. I'm sure you've seen them. They grow and grow and grow, and it's just an annual. and they don't come back, but they are absolutely beautiful, and they get, really long. They really trail. But it will hang over the side of my deck or something like that in this container. I like beauty with function, and that's why I mostly use herbs. And in my plantings, of course, I have a big vegetable garden. I raise our food. But when I do pretty plantings, I typically do pretty herbs, things that will also be useful. That's just me. But so I've got the light green one in. I'm also going to put in one of these purple sweet potato vines. Kind of come around on the other side and get it firmed into place. And I'll tell you, while I'm doing this, I fertilize. I'm full organic on our farm. We don't do anything that is not organic. And I order heirloom seeds. I do everything that I can to be as natural as possible. And one of the things that I do for feeding my plants, for fertilizing, I only do fish fertilizer, fish emulsion. Now, it's easier if we just go fishing, and then whatever is left of their little corpses, once we get through cleaning them, then I just bury them in the beds, especially my tomato beds. And right now I'm going to put in a thing of thyme. Love thyme. Like to have, actually take it back. Yeah, no. So sweet marjoram is what I meant. But when I fertilize, I use fish emulsion. You can make your own if you fish, or you can go to Lowe's, is where I get mine, and they have it in a bottle. It's a concentrate, super stinky, but you can buy that and mix it in with your water in your water pail, and just put it on there. I do it every 1 to 2 weeks, depending on the plant, depending on the season. And it really helps your plants. It makes them much more healthy, gives them some nutrition that they need. Okay, so I've got everything in this particular planter that I want. I don't want to overfill, and this thing will grow. It will absolutely get very full. And so my next step is to water it and add some fertilizer, because as they are all already half-grown plants. But I'm going to move on to my next one, and I think I may have another surprise container that I'd like to plant, and I'll show y'all that later.